2025 is ramping up to be one of the most exciting F1 seasons ever, but how fun are the circuits? With Spa becoming a rotating track in 2027, Zandvoort leaving after 2026, and the new Madrid Grand Prix joining the calendar in 2026, there is much change on the F1 calendar, and quality of tracks is top of mind. I'm going to be doing a tier list of all the circuits that F1 will race on in 2025 based on the quality of racing and how fun they are as races to watch. I have 5 tiers from best to worst. They are: I will personally fund this circuit, it can never leave, must watch live, just another circuit, I'm sleeping, and Dominicali take this one. The top tier of I will personally fund this circuit, it can never leave, is the absolute best tier. It can never leave the calendar in my opinion. It is a staple. It should never go. It should never even be rotating. It has to always happen. Must watch live is a step down from this, even though I think a lot of F1 fans watch most of the races live, barring commitments and timing issues. This is just to say, like, I will cancel plans to watch this race. I will wake up in the middle of the night to watch this race, but it's not necessarily a circuit that can never leave. Straight in the middle, we have just another circuit. It's fun to watch. You'll watch it when you can live. You're gonna put in the effort to watch it, but it's like maybe not the most exciting every time. I'm sleeping is I will either fall asleep watching the race, or I will not wake up in the middle of the night to watch the race if it is at a weird time. And Dominicali take this one is kind of a joke at the circuits that are rotating and or leaving. It is like, I don't like this race, it can actually be taken off the calendar. I'm not having fun with it. All right, without further ado, let's start ranking and tiering these tracks. We're going to be going in order of the 2025 season. Starting off, we have Australia with Albert Park Grand Prix circuit. So I'm putting this in Much Watch Live. By the way, this is just like off the cuff. I haven't thought of these. I want to put this in Much Watch Live, even though I haven't necessarily always watched this one live. This year I absolutely will be, because it is the first race. I need to watch it. The past 2 years I haven't watched it live, and then this year I really regretted it. Well, it's been a fun race 2 years in a row, but this year I especially regretted it because Carlos Sainz won it and Max didn't, and it was a big deal because we didn't know how the season would go at the time. And from there I've watched every single race live, even if it's in the middle of the night. So it's changed me, and I can't get rid of it here. My only reason I wouldn't put this in Must Watch Live is because it's literally in the middle of the night for me, and it has a tendency to have a lot of safety cars, so it can go really long, but that's whatever. I'm sticking to keeping it in Must Watch Live because I've accepted that I need to. Going on to Shanghai International Circuit in China. To be honest, I don't have a ton of experience watching this one. I'm a relatively new F1 fan, and so this hasn't been on the calendar except for 2024. And it was not the most fun. This is a real I'm sleeping one, I'm gonna say, because I might actually sleep through it. I'm not gonna this season, probably because it is literally the second race of the season and I want to watch it live for that reason, but it is in the middle of the night for me. I'm probably not going to be watching it live. Suzuka I have actually slept through a couple times. However, I don't want to put it in I'm sleeping because I think I've come to finally accept that, yeah, it is really fun. There's always something going on. But am I just saying that because everybody types up Suzuka? Is that really how I feel? I don't know. See, this is also the problem because I have slept through it a lot. Racing is so much more fun live. It's not so much fun to watch the next morning, even if it's news to you. It's not necessarily the most, there's just a level of anticipation gone. But it feels kind of sacrilegious to put it in I'm sleeping or just another circuit. See, this is hard because it is a great circuit. It is. So it feels bad to put it in just another circuit. But just another circuit is in the middle. It's not a bad category. I'm putting it in just another circuit because I'm lying if I say it's Must Watch Live. I'm sorry. That's again kind of because of some of the chaos that can happen. Because it's in the middle of the night, I might end up staying up really long. Again, I do think if I was in a different time zone, I'd love to watch it live, but it's just hard. Okay, Bahrain. Bahrain is another one that is super biased because it is the first race of the season most of the time. So that adds a level of anticipation and fun through it that I don't think is actually reflective of the circuit. I think it's just reflective of it being the first race of the season, so it's fun. I'm going to put it in just another circuit, and I'm honest about that one. I think this year it'll be a really good test to see how fun it actually is when it's in the middle of the season a bit more. Then I'm going to put Jeddah in Must Watch Live. I love Jeddah. Jeddah is probably my favorite track in the Middle East. It's really fun. I love how tight and fast it is. I also, that just like brings a level of thrill. I also do think it tends to have pretty good racing. I'm thinking of like the Max and Charles like fight in 2022, I want to say. I think it's fun. I'm gonna be like honestly sad to see it leave whenever the new Saudi track is made, whatever that is. That those pictures were crazy. But I like Jeddah. That's a must watch live for me. I actually look forward to watching Jeddah. Miami. Miami sucks. Miami, I'm gonna put I'm sleeping. I know I said I didn't like want to base it on the vibes. I wanted to base it on the actual racing. Both suck. Do you know what actually? No, I'm putting this bottom tier. Dominicali can take this one. It's not fun. The only reason it was kind of fun is because in 2024 Lando won, but even that he won because of a safety car, he didn't win because of the racing. The fake boats and things, atrocious. I don't like it. I wish it was better. Like, this is the most gimmicky track in the US, in my opinion. So we're putting it at the bottom. Imola. Okay, Imola. I'm putting Imola in just another circuit. I prefer Monza of the two Italian tracks. I don't think we need two Italian tracks. I think, like, I want to, do I want to put in Dominicali can take this one? Because I'm about to say, like, of the two Italian tracks, this one can go. I actually do kind of see this one leaving in the future. That one is subject to move. We might change it after. For now, I'm putting it in just another circuit because it really feels like just another circuit to me. Actually, no. I'm sleeping. She's going and I'm sleeping. Like, it's just, it's really meh for me. On to Monaco. If this is one where we actually have to let the vibes take some precedent, and also qualifying is fun in Monaco, but the racing actually sucks. Like, it's boring. It's not fun. I think if it wasn't Monaco, I'd put it in Dominicali take this one. I'm gonna put it in I'm sleeping. I think especially now that Charles has won it, it's not as much fun if we're talking pure racing. Again, the vibes through the roof. I'd love to go to Monaco one day. I really want to go. I'm grateful that the calendar is changing so that Monaco is not the same day as the Indy 500 anymore, even though now Canada might be the same day as the Indy 500, and that makes me really mad. I'm actually pissed off about that. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Because now I have to choose. I'm choosing the Indy 500. Anyways, I'm putting it in I'm sleeping. I might actually fall asleep during it. I kind of have. Now Barcelona. Barcelona, I feel really confidently. It's just another circuit. It was fun this year with some of that battling, but it's just like it's just really mad. It's not necessarily I'm sleeping because it has room to be really fun. I think it is a good circuit. The racing just isn't always fun. The circumstances aren't always super fun. Canada, I will personally fund this one. It can never leave. Yeah, no. I'm Canadian, so I'm biased. I've also never been, unfortunately. I'm working on it. If anybody would like to invite me, I would love to come, please. I think it's great. I actually think it's fantastic. I think it is what F1 tracks should be. And it's what Madrid is going to sort of be, as in it's like mostly a purpose-built track, but it is technically a street course. I think it's so much fun. I think it's so much fun to watch on TV. I think it actually produces great racing. Again, I'm biased. And when I'm thinking of this, I'm like, actually, I don't know what would replace it even, because we need a Canadian Grand Prix. I don't know what, like, there's nothing else it could be. I love Montreal. It needs to stay. Red Bull Ring. Yeah, it's just another circuit for me. It can be kind of fun because of the track limits issue, but that can also get frustrating. So for that reason, it's not a must watch live. It's a pretty solid European track, but again, like, whatever, sort of. Silverstone it's just great. It's like actually a great circuit. It tends to produce really good racing. At least there's always a really good chunk of few laps at least. I feel like there tends to be some sort of race for the lead. I love it. I think it's great. It can never leave. The other thing, again, I didn't want to talk about the vibes, but the other thing is the vibes. I mean, there's always enough British drivers that you feel that there's both tension between them of who's going to win, but then also when they do win, it's fantastic. And again, it's been a great place for Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton was there. He finally broke his winless streak there. I just think it's so good, and it has enough history that you're still looking forward to it whenever it comes up. I think it's fantastic. This is like literally have to watch it live. It can never leave. Like, the only time it's leaving is if something horrendous happens. That can't happen. It's there. Spa. I think what really is messing with Spa is the sprint race. I feel like the sprint race dulls some of Spa's sparkle. So for that, the last few years I'm having a bit of bias against it. Spa has also had some issues, but like it's like on my list of places I want to go. If Spa, okay, I'm gonna put it, and I will personally fund the circuit. It can never leave. I was sad when I heard that it was rotating, and like if it leaves, like something is wrong. It's just so beautiful. No, it can't go anywhere. I'm putting it up there. Hungaroring is just another circuit. I'm like tempted to put that and Red Bull Ring in Austria, and I'm sleeping. They're beautiful visually. They're kind of fun. The track limits does things to it. But I wouldn't be upset if I missed it. I actually missed Hungary this year because I was at the IndyCar race in Toronto, and I wasn't devastated even though it was Oscar's first win. Okay, Zandvoort. So Zandvoort is leaving, which does make me sad because I did like it. I'm going to put it in just another circuit, but that doesn't even feel right because what I love about it is the banked corners. And so I'm upset that it's leaving for that, but I'm not sure it's a must watch live. Oh, like this is the problem. A lot of the European tracks kind of feel the same. Yeah, like I'm sad about it leaving, but I'm not as sad as I would be about the others above it. So I'm gonna put it in just another track. Monza. Monza is must watch live to me. I'm a Ferrari fan, I have to watch it. The racing is also pretty good. I think it's like a different enough circuit to most of the things that like it like lets the Williams be a really good car. You know, that's the whole like Nick DeVries of it all. It's also beautiful. I love watching it on my TV. Like it's gorgeous, so lush. Yeah, it's a must watch live for me, especially because I'm a Ferrari fan. It's like on my bucket list to go. Actually, should I put it up in It Can Never Leave? Maybe it should be in It Can Never Leave. Yeah, we're pushing her up. She can never leave. There must be an Italian Grand Prix, and of all the circuits I prefer Monza, so for that reason it has to stay. It Can Never Leave. It's top tier. Yeah, obsessed. Baku. I love Baku. Baku is must watch live for me. That's very easy for me. I love the tight and fast street circuits. I think those are so fun. That's the thing, like a lot of people diss on street circuits. To an extent I get it, because if done wrong it can be really boring, but I feel like recently like a lot of the circuits we do have are street circuits done right. I like Baku is just so much fun. It kind of reminds, like it's beautiful first of all, but also like track wise it kind of reminds me of the Toronto IndyCar track with like the really harsh corners, that like maybe more so Detroit actually when I say that. I look forward to it. I think it's a lot of fun. I'd love to go to it. I think that it does produce great racing. I mean, like it's also different enough, like it gives some variance. Like when Checo was at his prime, he was doing very well there, and he's also doing very well in Jeddah. And so I like that variation that it gives compared to the more traditional European style circuits that can produce great racing. Like it does a better job than a lot of the newer even like purpose-built circuits that are just kind of meh. And so for that reason, must watch live. Okay, I feel the same way about Singapore. Can you tell? I didn't even realize. I think if you asked me before today, I would have said I don't really like street circuits. I'm obviously wrong. I do love street circuits. Again, Singapore is for the same reasons. It was also fun because of like the temperature and like the slight endurance aspect to it that can produce like a lot of crazy things. It also like got Carlos Sainz that win in 2023. So like all of these, you have to stay very focused, but there's also good racing, which is hard to do. And I think these street circuits do a very good job. So they're all in must watch live for me. Okay, Circuit of the Americas, Coda and Texas. Coda to me low-key can't leave. Like it's for sure at least a must watch live. But if we're being honest, I think it can never leave. I think it's the best North American race. No, not North American race. I think Montreal is the best North American race, but it's the best American race. I'd love to go, and I'm scared of Texas. I'd love to go to this race. I hope I do get to go one day. I also think it's like beautiful. Like I think the way they paint it is very nice. I think it produces pretty, you know what? Is the racing actually that good? Yeah, I think the racing is good enough to have It Can Never Leave. No, actually, we're knocking her down a peg. I'm so sorry. I want to put it up there because it is the best of the American circuits. Like I said, it feels the most genuine, but the racing is pretty good. It's not fantastic to the point that it can never leave. I think there's room for there to be like, I want to put it there and it can never leave because again, it's the best American circuit, but I don't know. The more I think of it, I kind of think something is missing. Couldn't tell you what, couldn't put my finger on it, but I think it has to go in Must Watch Live instead. Mexico, I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping a little bit. Mexico is going in, I'm sleeping, and I'm staying firm on that. I'm hesitant on that because I do think we need a Mexican race. I just don't think this track is very fun. I think the altitude is kind of fun. I think it was fun when we had Checo. And the fans are fantastic. I just don't love this track. I don't think the racing is that fun. Would I love to see IndyCar go there just because? But even I don't really want IndyCar to go to that circuit necessarily. I want IndyCar in Mexico. I don't think I want them at that circuit. If I think we can find a better option in Mexico or create a better option in Mexico, and I think we should. And so for that reason, I think, especially it's going in Dominical, I take this one because the circuit is not good. Everything else is. Let's figure out how to merge those things. Interlagos, Sao Paulo, it cannot leave. It cannot leave. It is beyond, I must watch this live. It like literally cannot leave. It is so much fun. The weather aspect of it is so much fun. It's produced crazy qualifying sessions, really fun races. The racing is great. The vibes are great. It would be like a real tragedy. Like all of these and these ones, something is seriously wrong with F1 if these are leaving. Like actually there is a problem. The circuit itself is great. It's not just because it's Brazil. It produces, like, I don't know what to say except it produces fun racing. Like Kevin Magnussen got pole on there. I'm happy to have a sprint right there too. That is like actually the one weekend I love a sprint race because I just want to watch the most racing there I can. It is so good, like absolutely on my bucket list, I must go. And this year it was even crazy too because of like the weather and all of that. But I never resented it. I never resented it. I actually like ended up not watching qualifying there this year because it was so early in the morning for me. And I was so upset all day that I didn't watch qualifying. I wish I had because it looked like so much fun. Las Vegas is a much watch live for me. In that I'm like firm on that. I'm real on that. The 2 years it's been, I've watched it live, no regrets. It's actually really fun. Like as much as I like didn't think it would be, it's actually a lot of fun. The straights provide enough room for some real racing. I think that it's like tight enough and it's fast enough that it's like fun to watch with some risk. I also like the weather aspect of it being pretty cold. Do I think it should be here forever? No, I think it can leave at some point. Kind of think it should leave at some point. The Las Vegas locals don't seem to love it. And I think they need to figure out their pricing, but I'd love to go one day. It's a lot of fun. Qatar right now is an I'm sleeping. It could become a Dominicali take this one. Should it be a Dominicali take this one? Yeah, we're moving it back down. It's not that fun. I don't appreciate what happened in 2023 where there was a track limits thing, so they like shrunk the track and then that made everybody race super fast and then everybody was like dying in their cars. I really don't appreciate that. That is still like a lingering over me. I think that like the drivers were like seriously failed by the FIA and F1. It's not that fun racing, to be honest. Like I'm watching it because it's the second last race of the season and you want to see how everything plays out, but otherwise like I wouldn't watch it. I think we have better races in the Middle East and we can have better races in the Middle East. And this track just like doesn't work super well for Formula One. I know that MotoGP also races there. I don't watch MotoGP, so I don't know how it does, but I don't like this one. And last but not least, Yas Marina, Abu Dhabi. It's like really cemented itself because it is the last race of the season. So like for that reason, you're excited for it. But I feel like that really clouds everything else. I'm gonna put it in Must Watch Live again. Like I'm saying that is obviously biased. If it was anywhere else in the season, it would be just another circuit. It's hard for me to remove the bias of that one. It is Must Watch Live. So we have our list. I'm thinking through it and I actually don't think there's anything I want to move. So let me give you the final overview of where I have placed everything on this list. And I will personally fund this circuit. It can never leave. These are the absolute top tier. We have Canada. Again, I'm biased. We have Silverstone. We have Spa. We have Monza. And we have Interlagos. I'm really firm on that. I believe in that. I'm happy with that. In Must Watch Live, we have Albert Park in Melbourne. We have Jeddah. We have Baku, we have Singapore, we have Coda, we have Vegas, and we have Yas Marina. So that's a really street track heavy. That's also pretty American heavy with with Vegas and Coda there. I wouldn't have necessarily thought I would say that, but I stand by what I said with that. I think these are all really fun. They're all also pretty high speed, which is interesting. Because like sometimes the higher speed you have, the not as good racing there can be, but I think these are pretty good middle grounds. And just another circuit. These are like meh. We have Suzuka. I feel like I'm doing something bad by saying that, but like it's kind of my truth. Sorry. So we have Suzuka, we have Bahrain, we have Barcelona, we have Red Bull Ring, we have Hungaroring, and we have Zandvoort. I would have thought I would have put more in just another circuit, so I'm proud that I didn't just like cop out and do that. And yeah, I really stand by those. These are all mostly European and or European inspired and or I don't know. They're all purpose built, which is interesting. I think a lot of people diss on street circuits and they have a bias towards and for purpose built circuits, but they're not always that fun. Like I think purpose built circuits like can fall into like the real just another circuit, like kind of interchangeable with a lot of European circuits. And I'm sleeping. We have Shanghai, we have Imola, and we have Monaco. Yeah, I stand by that. I do. Which is weird because I think these all like have something special about them. But they're just like kind of meh. The actual, when we're thinking about the actual racing, they're just kind of meh. And then in Dominicali, take this one. We have Miami, we have Mexico City, and we have Qatar. Again, I stand by those. And it's not, I think we should have, well, Miami, I don't necessarily feel like we must have a race in Miami. I think, again, if any of the US tracks can go, it's Miami. But I'm not against a race in Qatar. I actually am really in support of a race in Mexico. These circuits are just not it. All right, so that is my tier list. By the way, I should have said this at the beginning. This is a public link. I've created this. I will put a link in the bio. You can do this yourself. I actually encourage you to do this yourself. I'm really interested to see how it differs. I really can't tell. I think I have quite a few very unpopular opinions. I think Monaco, people agree with me, but they let the Monaco of it all cloud it. And I think Suzuka, people will feel differently than me. I also think if any of the top ones, I think people feel less excited about Montreal than I do. But again, I'm biased because I'm Canadian. I literally can't let that go. Like it's, sorry. And so I really hope you guys do this. I'm interested to see what you do. Let me know if there's anything I said that you really disagree with. And let me know if you want me to do this with IndyCar tracks. I think that would be fun. Or any other tier lists you'd like me to create, and I will. So with all of that, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. Give this episode 5 stars. Comment, follow, subscribe, all the things. And I will catch you next week.